But this really is a movie that it's built on a premise, and I can't tell you how many times you see a movie. They're usually based on Stephen King stories, where the premise is so great, but they just can't land it, and it's so awful. This one, they absolutely landed it.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah, stuck the landing.
I thought so. Yeah, especially the ending. I don't want to jump ahead, but like we were like, yeah.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, my fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Williscroft.
So they all already heard this, but now I'm going to give it to the audience now that we're recording. In the People Also Ask section of the Google search of weapons, it says, is the movie Weapons really a true story?
Oh, guys.
To which I say, of course, we've all been haunted in our elementary school days by plant witches.
Of course we have.
What, you guys weren't?
No. Oh, by the way, we have a very special guest with us again. We got our buddy, Jordan the Gray Witch, back with us to talk about
Hey, guys.
a witchy movie.
Yeah,
And
had to.
this actually was Jordan's recommendation. So we did have scheduled Jordan to pop onto the show to talk about the movie Seven. We'll get to that eventually. But Jordan, you had messaged me and you're like, hey, have you guys done Weapons yet? And we're like, no, we have not. I haven't seen it. Should I see it? And you're like, yes, you should totally see it. And I'd like to come on for it. It's like, well, okay, well, then we will bump Seven and instead do Weapons. And I honestly think that was a damn good idea.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I texted you as soon as we finished.
Yep.
As soon as it wrapped, I was like, "You guys want to watch Weapons?"
And I'm like, I know nothing about this movie, so yeah, I thought it was going to be a movie about school shootings. Because here's the reason why, dude. Like the minute that I see the poster and it's kids running, and the title of the movie is Weapons, I'm like,
No, valid.
Yeah,
Brian,
this is going to be one of those deals.
this may be a movie about school shootings. There's a lot of people said that's the underlying subtext here of what this movie is
Really?
about.
Half
Yeah,
that?
well-
I could see that as an interpretation of all the kids going missing.
Well, the scene too, and I don't mean to jump too far right out the gate, but Josh Brolin, his dream that he has that has a semi-automatic gun up in the sky, and a time, I believe somebody has dissected this. That time is actually a vote to ban assault rifles that ended with them not being banned by that particular number.
See, this is why I love the internet. Because there's always someone that's going to find that detail.
Yeah.
But this really is a movie that it's built on a premise, and I can't tell you how many times you see a movie. They're usually based on Stephen King stories, where the premise is so great, but they just can't land it, and it's so awful. This one, they absolutely landed it.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stuck the landing.
I thought so. Yeah, especially the ending. I don't want to jump ahead, but like we were like, yeah.
The ending, I was
ending.
like, are we totally going there? I'm like, oh, we are totally going there. And
yeah,
it is
I was like, we got a little
balls to the wall, man.
It got very
there's a
Sam
little
Raimi.
Goria. Sorry, I keep interrupting John. Poor John. It's like a Gorno aspect of it at the end. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I just keep thinking, I'm like, that's Ed Harris's wife. So, like, yeah. Yikes.
I didn't know that was Josh Brolin until the end of the movie.
Really?
Oh wow. Okay.
Swear.
You didn't know
I was like,
that
he looks
Thanos
so
and
familiar.
Silver Surfer were in the same movie?
I don't know. I'm good with faces sometimes, sometimes not. And I'm like, oh, that was Josh Brolin this whole time. And Bill's like, yeah.
Well, Brian, to what you said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself be in a superhero movie.
That
We
is
have
true.
at least two of them in this one.
There's two. Well, technically, there's three. Wong's in this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Wong's in this too. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, the principal.
Yeah, the principal, who clearly had a prosthetic over his eyes, like in that one scene. Like I was like, "There's no way that you are bugging your eyes out like that."
Maybe it's
Oh,
the same
yeah.
talent he has.
I don't know, but it was nuts. We're jumping way ahead. Let's talk a little bit about this. Let's talk about this. So, Weapons is, and I'm pulling this directly from IMDb. It is a 2025 American mystery horror film, directed, written, produced, and co-scored by Zach Cregger. Now, Zach Cregger, you might be like, who the fuck is that? He was the director behind Barbarian, which kind of took the world by storm while we were all in the midst of COVID hell. It was one of those COVID movies that it came out and you're just like, what the hell is this? And like, I was trying to tell my wife about the movie Weapons. I'm like, oh, it was made by a guy who did Barbarian. Remember Barbarian? She's like, well, I don't remember that one. I'm like, it happened in COVID times. And she's like, oh, okay, that explains it. But then I want to explain, like, oh yeah, remember the creepy tunnel and the naked people? Like, yeah, is that movie.
And this speaks to his style of like interweaving different stories that all in a way end up being connected, because it's almost, Barbarian was almost like three,
it's like two movies. It's like two movies.
Yeah.
Possibly even three, because you had the people that were booked in the same place at the beginning. Then you have Justin Long's whole journey. And then we find out about the creepy guy, you know, who's built tunnels in his house to never have to leave. So yeah, this movie, I wouldn't say is exactly like that, but once we get the initial setup that a little girl narrating that all of these kids, you know, went missing and it was never solved and they were all in one classroom, we get the film from all these different characters' point of views, and it kind of helps piece it together. It's almost like Rashomon meets Barbarian.
It's Magnolia. I said, I'm like, this is Magnolia for horror nerds.
For horror.
Like, this is it. This is totally it. But yeah, it starts off with just very succinctly, and it almost feels kind of fairy tale like about, you know, these kids in this one classroom. They disappear, and only one of the students is left behind. And it immediately goes to, you know, jumping into the teacher of that classroom, Justine, played by I'm gonna butcher her name because I'm thinking of all the characters. Because Jordan, you said, oh, it's played by Ruth, right, from Ozark.
Yeah.
And I'm
Ruth,
like, no,
right. I was like,
no,
I didn't know her
Julia Garner.
Yeah,
but
I said Ruth.
You said Ruth, and I'm like, oh yeah, Ruth from Ozark.
Yeah.
But no, she plays Justine, and she's an elementary school teacher who, the first moment we get with her is that she is literally getting tormented by the parents of this town because they need to put blame on somebody, and who better to put blame on other than the teacher, right? Like that is kind of, that's indicative of not only, I don't want to say necessarily parents nowadays, but you know, when tragedies do strike, they always blame everybody else other than the real thing that caused it.
Right.
You know, I think that kind of alludes a little bit to kind of the whole school shooting thing, right?
They just
blame
vindicated the lady from Uvalde because they blamed the teacher. They're like, oh, the teacher left the door open. The teacher left the door open. Meanwhile, they found the security footage. She did not leave the door open. She didn't. She shut the door. So for years, they were blaming this poor woman. And meanwhile, she didn't even do it.
Yeah.
Well, we're all roughly the same age, so we remember the blame everybody in the world except the parents with the Columbine shooting.
Yeah.
Right.
Marilyn Manson was at fault,
Dew,
and
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Dirty magazines.
Black trench coats, blame those. They
Meanwhile, we found out the shooters are just groypers.
Yes. They're groypers.
The whole time. Like incels. Like,
yeah.
This whole time that was the problem?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. But it is one of those things that, like, we're introduced to this character in basically a parent meeting, and they're all just fucking horrible to her. You know, Josh Brolin is accusing her of something. We don't know what it is. We just know he's like, you know, something happened. You were there. What were you teaching them? And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, so the movie is dumping you headfirst in this very, like, volatile situation, which I love because, like, you as a viewer, you're like, what the hell? Like, but this is exactly how parents would react with any sort of tragedy that takes place.
And nobody wants to say, you know, use the W word. Nobody wants to use the word witch because, like, for God's sakes, this is the real world. You know, it's not like she has some kind of supernatural power. Spoiler, if for some reason you haven't seen this.
Spoiler.
There is a witch in this that causes it. But I do think it's funny. when you see it on the other end, when they say like, here's 100 reasons why Home Alone couldn't work in modern times because of technology. This movie couldn't have worked back then because most of the people saw their kids on their Ring doorbells. And what are Ring doorbells, like 5 to 10 years old?
Yeah.
It would have had to have been somehow all the parents would have had to have security cameras on their house if this came out in the 90s. So it's interesting how technology was actually a benefit for a horror movie for once, instead of have to get rid of the cell phones because they could just call for help.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart writing. Let's be honest here. It's very easy, and it's one of the things I always see with horror movies is that the first thing that goes is the cell phone. That's always the first thing that goes. If that one dies, then it's like, okay, well, now, of course you're screwed because we have to explain away the cell phone. We have to explain away that there's no contact, no nothing. But this one, as you said, like it plays into the technology being there. It's not like the cameras just blipped out during those couple minutes when the kids ran out the doors. No, it was captured. And yeah, it plays into the whole crux of the movie from at least one character's perspective. Right. But getting back to Justine, because I think it's important to talk about her character. She has her own demons. And it's the thing that within this movie that I really appreciate is that every character in this movie is flawed to some degree. And it's those flaws that keep coming out. So like with Justine, she is clearly an alcoholic. Like she clearly is using alcohol to cope with, situations in her life. And obviously with this, she kind of gets pushed into it. On top of that, the pressure cooker of everyone in the town fucking thinking she killed the kids.
I like the entire I like the entire structure of the movie. The fact that it like you said, it divided it into the different characters' perspectives, and every character was morally gray. There was something a little amiss about all of them, and I think that adds to the layering of the mystery. Also, there were a bunch of herrings in the movie that were sort of like bait and switches, because the entire time you're trying to figure out, all right, is it aliens? Is it parasites? Is it a conspiracy? Is it magic? Like, is it ghosts? Like, you don't know. And they build it that way the entire time. And then you get that one interjection in, like, what was it? The third chapter where you're like, oh, it's zombies. Hell yes. For like a second, you're like, oh, it's zombies.
I thought it was zombies. I was like, oh, we're dealing with rage virus zombies now?
Yeah.
How are we doing that? Okay.
I loved it. The whole time we were like, all right, because me and Bill were like, what is it? What do you think it is? You think it's aliens? We're like, what do you think it is? So that's why it's fun to watch, because you're seeing all these different perspectives of all these morally gray characters that all technically could be the villain, but you don't really know until the end that they're really all the victim, right? Like,
yeah. It's definitely an interesting structure, and it gives every character in this sort of movie like their time to shine. You know what I mean? Except for Donna. Donna doesn't get any time to shine in this. Paul's girlfriend, wife.
Oh my god, her! I was like, oh god.
She was a MacGuffin. She was there just to show that like this is eating away at his marriage, by his inability to like not. I don't want to say properly move on, because for Christ's sakes, his kid went missing, and they don't know where he is. But like, she seems like she's trying to function in the world where he's not there yet.
Well, this is Donna I'm talking about, like the Paul's wife who like beats Justine in the liquor store.
Oh, in the liquor store. Yeah, the jealous wife.
Wrong character.
Wrong character, John. I was gonna say she pops in there, and that's June Diane Raphael, and she's a well-known comedian and podcaster, and so it was funny to see. Yeah, it was funny to see her pop in there, and I'm like, oh, how are they? We can get her. No, I was like, she's there to beat Paul's ass because Paul is a two-timing piece of shit. So,
like, why is she even worried about beating the other girl? Go beat his ass. He's the one that did it. Why are you mad at her?
Because the movie dictates it. You know what I mean? That's what they do. But here's the thing: is that again, like you mentioned, like morally great characters. That whole thing leads into the fact that Justine is a very morally great character. Obviously, like her relationships have not always been on the up and up. She uses alcohol to cope with shit, and she's under a pressure cooker in the town.
And she's sleeping with somebody else's guy.
She's sleeping with someone else's guy because the guy. But here's the thing: to Justine's credit, Paul did say that they were not together anymore.
He did. No, Paul's a dirtbag.
Paul's a
for
piece
sure.
of shit.
Paul's a piece of shit. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. Paul's a total piece of shit.
He also, the cop, he jacked up the junkie.
Yes. Let's get to Paul's little arc here.
Yeah.
So Paul, piece of shit cop. Although you think he's a nice guy.
Piece of shit, Paul.
Piece of shit, Paul. But yeah, he is obviously, he's still got feelings for Justine, his ex-girlfriend. And yeah, he beats the shit out of James, who is a homeless drug addict, and he gets stabbed by needles, and his whole arc is he's trying not to get caught.
Yeah.
Because the dash cam caught him beating James. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, it is a small town. I don't think anyone, let's be honest here. It's small town Pennsylvania. Is anyone going to do anything in small town Pennsylvania? Probably not. But at the same time, he is so like consumed by it that he ends up letting that fear dictate him getting turned into a fucking zombie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Does.
Like, and that's a crazy thing I love about this movie is that these people's fuck ups ultimately are their undoing every single time.
Yes.
But the thing is, for this character being so shitty, like, you can understand a knee-jerk reaction where you just got pricked by a needle. You could have a horrific disease now, and without thinking, he pops him one. But and he immediately kind of like goes, "Oh shit," But so it is understandable. It doesn't mean that it justifies it.
No, it's understandable,
but it is understandable. And for Justine to, like, when shit gets really bad, and you're being basically pitchforked, hunted by the town, maybe you will turn to some booze. And her biggest problem is that, and I know it's because the movie has to happen, but the one kid who didn't run out, she's like stalking a child,
Alex,
to figure out what's
right?
going
what
on.
Are you doing?
Yeah, it's just like, go home. You got paid leave. Just go watch binge a show and drink your hooch.
Yeah, like why you? Well,
sleep
it's
on
like
your side. Yeah.
It's trying to make it like teachers care, like they really care about the kids. Like she really cares, but like the whole time we're like, stop stalking this child. Like I'm like yelling at the TV, like what's this bitch doing? What are you following someone's kid for? Like what the hell?
It's like, don't follow the kid around. Don't be stalking outside the house. Don't do a stakeout.
Right?
She does. The woman does a fucking stakeout in front of a child's home.
While being drunk as she passes out in the car.
Yeah, well, she has to have her booze, right? She has
dude, straight up, if a dude did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had a neighbor called them roadies. That's when you
beer on that's right.
Road beers.
That's how you know they're really old, is when they're just like, drinking while driving? We have a nickname for that.
That's my dad's generation. The idea is like, you get yourself like a sixer or something, and that way, by the time you get there, you're already pre-game buzz.
Absolutely. That's like back in the 70s.
Yeah,
some Halloween 3 Season of the Witch shit right there. That's that whole crap right there. Well, I got to get my beers to get into the car.
Yeah.
Is that for later when you get there to get to your destination? It's like, no. It's for the drive.
What's the dang movie with Affleck and McConaughey and from the 70s?
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. That's when that you could do that, like during that era. You know what I'm saying? Like
they didn't have seatbelts back then, too.
Yeah,
that was suggested that you had seatbelts. But yeah, like moving through some of these, Josh Brolin as Archer. Like you're supposed to hate his guts first. The dad of one of these missing children. But he's one of those characters, like, you have this negative opinion of, but then the minute in the movie when shit starts to turn real, like when we first see the quote unquote zombie, that's the moment in the movie where we're like, no, he's not an asshole. He's just misguided.
In this moment. Yeah.
In this moment. Yes.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that, like, that scene needed to happen for him to be like, hey, wait a minute. This guy who's otherwise a pretty normal guy a ferocious appetite, but otherwise a nice guy, like came running like all the kids did out of the house. He was completely, nonverbal, looked like a psychopath, like was like a Terminator level of attempted murder. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck was that?
Oh,
So-
he was like visibly contagious. That's something
Oh, yeah.
you run lock the doors for sure.
You don't know where he's been.
No.
The movie tells us, though.
Yeah.
The movie tells us where.
Guess who the bad guy in the movie is, guys?
Well, I mean, it tells us that, that Marcus, who is the man who was running towards Archer and Justine at the gas station. Because again, this is all told through kind of these different segmented vignettes, and when that happens, we don't know how the hell this principal has been turned into a zombie at this point. And it's revealed that he basically was put under the spell of our main villain within this movie. And that he actually, like, his appearance is only because the fact that he beat his boyfriend's head in, or husband's head in, with his own face.
Yeah.
Have you seen there's internet challenges now to try to eat as much food as they had on the tray with the 7 hot dogs, the chips, the cookies?
What the fuck is up with that? Okay,
well,
who has a whole tray full of 7
somewhere
hot dogs?
on Reddit, I swear.
But here's the best part. Here's what I love about it. And I'm curious, Jordan and John, your reaction. He's got 7 hot dogs on a tray, but he also has a little tiny bowl of carrots.
Right? You got to get your veggies in there. If you're eating all that processed horse meat, you got to get your vegetables in there. But, this movie really does hit on a lot of like addictive behavior. You have alcohol, you have hard drugs, but the principal, he's always eating. Like, so I think his addiction is to food. And I think that's why it is that ridiculously large amount of food, because, maybe he doesn't smoke crack or drink whiskey, but maybe he does it through his voracious appetite.
Interesting.
Yeah, they kind of all do have a deadly sin, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I know they needed it for the movie, but they're not watching documentaries on like fucking centipedes. They're a gay couple.
No,
they're White Lotus.
No, let's be honest here. I mean, yes,
White Lotus was awesome. Okay,
White Lotus is awesome. All like what were we up to? 4 seasons?
I think so.
I think it was 4 seasons. I might be. Oh no, I think it's 3. But yeah, I watched all. I watched all. I'm current with it too. But what I find hilarious is they're watching a documentary about the cordyceps, like fungus that can turn you into a zombie.
Well, those Easter eggs are throughout the whole movie.
They are. Yes, there's that one.
Several herrings to parasites.
Yes, they're talking about parasites because our main villain, Gladys, is a parasite. She is a parasite within the town. Because she is a dying witch played by Amy Madigan, who you might be like, who the hell is that? I don't know who that is. Well, if you've ever seen Field of Dreams, that's Kevin Costner's wife in the movie, which I'm just like, huh, what the fuck? Like I remember her being in so many movies in the late 80s, early 90s.
Uncle Buck.
Yeah, she was an Uncle Buck. But in this one, she is fucking terrifying. And here's the thing, and Jordan and John, I'm curious if you had this reaction. So all 3 of us love horror movies, right? Mm-hmm. Can we all agree that it's probably very difficult for us to get scared or jump at any of these things?
Yes,
right?
Because you predict it. You know what's coming.
I know it's a movie, so...
How many... were you all in the same boat as me as like, this movie actually made you jump and go, holy fuck, like... I had that reaction
a couple times. Yeah,
I
think there was a few where it got you. Yeah, like there was for sure some and it kept pile driving you too. Like in certain scenes, you're like, oh shit, oh, whoa, and it just kept going nuts in certain scenes where. But yeah, there were a few scenes I think it got me.
John, what about you?
Yeah, when Cracky goes into the house, he sees all the newspapers and stuff, and he's like, oh, sweet, they're out of town, and they're just sitting there, but then they get up. All of a sudden, like they don't make any noise. They just get up. I'm like, okay, that is genuinely unsettling.
What got me was when Josh Brolin is having the nightmare, and he turns and he sees Gladys in the Batman bed sheets.
Yeah, with him.
And it's like, whoa, camera's real up close. I'm like, fucking hell, man. Like, and it doesn't help that I watched this movie at like midnight.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, yeah, let's just make it so we're not sleeping tonight. But I mean, it's kudos to this director for making me someone who's watched horror movies since the age of 5 actually jump and have a reaction, because more often than not, I don't have those reactions to scary movies anymore. For me, it's like an appreciation, but it's not like I'm part of the ride. Like, that doesn't work on me anymore.
I love being excited about them. That's what I mean. I knew you were stoked about this one too, and I'm like, I love being excited about them when it's like something refreshing, when it's something different, when it's something new, because we've seen everything.
Yes.
And when I say everything, we've seen everything.
I've seen everything.
Like when you see something like this, you're like, oh hell yeah, this one's gonna make it for my top 10 for the year for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Along with Sinners, mind you, which was our last podcast together.
All right, so this is quite the love fest. So I just want to
John's going to be devil's advocate.
Let's talk about how this witch takes over this family. They haven't seen her in years. She's probably not even related to them, but they're like, yeah, she's probably family. And she puts the mom and dad into a comatose state, puts newspapers up all over the windows, goes on behalf of the parents to talk to the school. Nobody comes to check on them. Nobody notices that they haven't seen them for the longest time. The only issue I have with this movie is that it's a little bit of a stretch that these people just kind of disappear in their house, and nobody's like, hey, look, the so-and-sos have newspaper all over.
You know what got me? What the one thing that I said, I'm glad John brought this up, because I'll join him over here with the advocates. So the one thing that I said when I saw the house, because as you see the house where the kids left the one kid by himself, first and foremost, take a look at that lawn. There is no way an HOA would let that lawn get like that for that long without some lady that's running it coming to bitch at you.
That's
first and foremost. Secondly, there were Amazon packages in the driveway sitting there, dozens of them, and mail. Every time this kid was going home, you're telling me none of these neighbors were like, hey man, you got a bunch of packages out here for like weeks.
Yeah.
You would notice, you would say something. So not only is their lawn overgrown and the entire house is covered in the newspapers, there's packages outside, and the kid's going in and out by himself. No one has seen the parents whatsoever. You're telling me no one noticed? No one went to check the house out? So I'm with John on this one.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I have found that more often than not, neighbors kind of keep to themselves even when horrible shit's going down. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think it's necessarily I don't think it was necessarily like accepting that, okay, yeah, horrible shit's going down and we're horrible people. I think it's more like, I'm going to take care of my own and not extend out. So I can see a world in which the neighbors there saw that and was like, yeah, you know what? We're not going to get involved. Especially because like the town itself has already dealt with the tragedy of these kids going missing. So I can see it where like people be like, oh, well, maybe they're on vacation. Like people come up with their own conclusions for shit rather than think of the worst case scenario all the time.
I could see that for sure. But if they had an HOA,
but yes, I
no
do.
Way.
That one I do absolutely agree with. If they were in a planned community, they absolutely would be called out within a week of that lawn being. All it would be is a week. Someone knock on the door being like, hey, just want to let you know, we didn't get your $250 monthly thing. And by the way, we're going with teal for the new door color.
Oh, God.
And the lawn needs to be at requisition, 1 inch length.
It is a pretty affluent neighborhood too, so that people are being nebby, as we say.
That's what I'm saying. That's why as soon as I saw that house, I was like, "There's no way some Valerie down the street or some old Miss Whitfield isn't going to be like, excuse me, honey, your bushes are overgrown."
Well, here's the thing. Maybe it's a thing where Gladys probably had that person knock on the door, and then she tried sucking out their soul.
Yeah. So okay, there's the loophole then.
There's a loophole. When you're dealing with a parasitic witch within the house, anything goes. But we don't know how many souls that woman sucked out.
Not enough if she was still looking haggard like that. You got to keep sucking them to retain the youth and beauty.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Gladys for a moment, because
my time has come.
It's
time to talk about the witch.
I was gonna say this movie. Like the minute that Justine's car had witch on the side of it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, because that's not the word I would have seen show up. Like, you would see bitch on the side,
right?
Like, that's what you would think. But put that on the side of the car, and then we've got Gladys, who is clearly a witch. And Jordan, since you are a practitioner of witchy things, that is what your handle is. What do you think? Does Gladys represent witch culture in a productive way?
No, absolutely not. Gladys represents what people think witches are. She is the stereotypical, everyone should fear the old, ugly woman. Mm-hmm. This story has been told throughout literally every culture on the planet has stories of these old women that are different, that live by themselves, that maybe make their own medicines, that are scary, that eat children. From Baba Yaga to, pretty much everyone fears the crone, especially within modern times, when the crone should be revered for her knowledge and her wisdom and her experience in life. People are one of the only creatures that go through menopause, right? Because we're one of the only creatures that we don't need to continue breeding to have value within our social systems. So when we see, this was my least favorite part of the movie. It's like, oh, it was the witch. Oh, shocker. Oh yeah, the evil witch, right? So, I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I did. I really enjoyed it. But the witch, I was like, oh, come on. Again, it's the ugly old evil witch for no reason. It's always that, right? It should have been a school shooter. That would have been
that's what I thought the movie was initially. Like, when I saw the poster, I'm like, oh, it's a school shooting movie? Okay, that's horrible.
However, grievances aside,
yeah,
for the misrepresentation of my people, I will say they did add some elements of, there's some hoodoo voodoo in there. There's all kinds of little different things that they put together for her magic, but it's blood magic through and through, like the entire time it's blood magic. So, that's something that a lot of different, depending on your practice, you're going to have different feelings on blood magic. But that's like when I saw, because you don't find out it's her really until you see her do it.
Yep.
And as soon as she, Bill looked at me, because as soon as she pulled out the stick, I was like, because Bill was like, what's she doing, babe?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, how much of this magic is based in reality? Like, I know obviously there's always, with a horror movie, there's always some embellishment of this, but from what you saw, are there connections to real magic in this?
Oh, for sure. They're definitely taking things from practices, for sure, that we would use, depending on, again, your particular practice and your everybody's different, right? All witches are different. But it's definitely blood magic, in which she took an item of the person, wrapped it around the thorns, cut her hand with blood, and then proceeded to take hold of that person's psyche by snapping the twig, which again, this is like a lot of voodoo, is sort of transmuted that way, right? Like by actions into objects. So when I saw it, because remember she's like standing in the kitchen, and this is how I knew. She said, can I have a glass of water? And I was like, no.
Were you screaming at the screen?
Don't give her anything. Don't give any. Yeah. If a witch asks you for anything, no, the answer is no. So when she walked in the kitchen, she was like, actually, I'll take a bowl. I'm like, no, don't give her that.
But, the thing is, like, it makes sense, too. It's one of those, like, okay, we don't want this woman in our house. Yeah, it's fucking weird that she wants to drink water from a large bowl, but if it gets her the fuck out of here quicker, give her the damn bowl.
Sure, yeah. If a witch asks you for something, totally just give it to her. But I'm saying.
But here's the thing: you don't know she's a witch at that point. You don't know.
Witches knew as soon as she asked for that. We were like, ooh.
Right. Well, like
small town principal. Like,
he's just a small time principal who had his afternoon hot dogs and carrots. He's just trying to get this woman out the door because she's kind of crazy and looks a little insane. I probably would not have let that person in the house to begin with. I would have been like, no, you're
kind of
insane.
Like shoulders looking. In, yeah. She kind of just walks in, right? Like she's We know what she's doing. Once she's inside and she asks him for something and he obliges her, it was already over. So never in most practices, if a witch asks for something, or if a witch sends someone for her to ask for something, even if it's a cup of sugar, even if it's an egg, don't
do it.
Don't.
What if it's 2 eggs?
Yeah. What if it's 2 eggs that I get from somewhere else, so they're not technically mine?
Yeah.
What if I steal the eggs from someone and give them to? Is there like a loophole there?
What
Can I have a
egg
loophole?
lands best?
It really depends on the witch. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I'll tell you. It depends. And I'm not saying that I don't want to scare people. It's not big bad this, but witches can do a lot with someone's hair. I used to ask people that because people say, "Oh, I don't believe in witches," and I would say, "You don't? Give me a piece of your hair. Give me a piece of your hair. Go ahead. You don't believe I can do anything with it? Just give me a piece of your hair." Yeah, that one right there. And you would be surprised how many grown men are like, no, I'm not giving you hair. Like they start to get scared because they're like, well, I don't want to risk it. I don't know.
Well, no, that's it. Is you're always afraid of what you don't know and what you don't understand. So like that's it. I will say that this is probably the smartest take on showing witches in a horror movie that I've seen in a very long time. Like in terms of like, how do you make a witch scary in 2025?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because usually they come off as pretty hokey in movies, not reality. But I'm just saying in movies, representation more recently has been kind of or
it's
not good
representation of witches, but it's a scary.
But I mean within within the genre, not necessarily like representation of real witches.
It's a great Hollywood witch because that's supposed to be scary, right? So we're supposed to be like, afraid of the crone, right? But in reality, my best take on witches was The Witch.
Oh well, yeah.
I would hope with that title, yeah.
Yeah.
Or oh gosh, let's see. I'd have to have a little think on the best representation as of recent years.
It was, although I will say about Gladys here, the only thing she was missing was a sign around her neck that said, "Be suspicious of me."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she looks like methadone.
She was like,
McDonald,
She was like, "There's nothing to be afraid of. What do you mean?" Hold on, wait. She walked in. What did she have on?
Oh, see, for all of you non-video
people who aren't catching this. Oh, there we go.
See, now you look like you just want me to take you to the soda fountain.
Yeah. Oh man. So for our audio only audience who can't see this, Jordan had on a red like little hat thing and had oversized green glasses, and immediately was like, "I'm gonna put makeup on, put lipstick on."
No, Gladys, deadass, didn't she have this vibe? She
did have the vibe.
That happens when you know a lot of people that had consumption.
Yeah. What's consumption? Oh, a touch of consumption.
Yeah, it's like, what is this fucking Oregon Trail?
I know. Oh my God, the Oregon Trail. Should just stay like this for the rest of the podcast.
You should just you know what? When you're talking to your significant other, just be like, "Do you think I'm beautiful?"
Oh, he has to hear me fart in the morning. Trust me.
Oh, but anyway, yes, Gladys is very terrifying, and I thought it was great use of that character, and I like the rules that they did for how the magic did work. That's why I asked Jordan if you felt that it was based in somewhat of reality, because clearly the filmmakers thought this through, because that we find out that Gladys has been the one who kind of stole the children. She needs them because she's dying, and she needs to kind of suck off of their life force. She tried to suck off the life force of, Alex's parents, but their life force was older and brittle and not self-sustaining.
I don't think we should be saying suck off and kids in the same sentence.
No.
I was going to say suck off the life force of kids. I thought we weren't talking about Kevin Spacey. Allegedly.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Let's say,
Spacey, what were you doing in the park at 3 a.m? I was watching my dog.
Need
you
to
don't
cut
have a dog.
these things, John.
Allegedly.
Damn it.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just use the word, steal life force. How about that? Is that good? Is that better? Still life force from children.
Nah, I like sucking. Sucking sounded better.
You're the one who just told me not to say that way.
No, she was sucking the kids' souls. She was sucking them. We know what she was doing.
Sucking souls. There you go.
Yeah.
And leave it to Josh Brolin and Justine to be the ones to kind of figure out the mystery through the magic of math and geometry.
Hey, math
Geometry saved the day in this movie, right? Like, we can all agree with that, right?
Well, see, it makes sense that he would do that because as like a carpenter or an engineer,
he's a contractor.
Contractor, like
contractor.
He has to have precise math. He has to be very good with math, or else the damn house tilts over. So he's the only one to be like, well, okay, so my Cam, the kid, runs out and gets to this point. Like, let's mark that, and then I'll get a map out, and I'll just draw a line as far as the map goes, and then he has the unfavorable or unfortunate task, I should say, of having to go and be like, "Hey, can I see the footage of the night your kid ran away?"
Yeah,
like, no.
Right.
And she's like, "No, I don't feel comfortable with that." So what does he do? He waits 5 minutes for Justin Long, the husband, to show up and be like, "Hey, buddy. Remember that time our kids disappeared? Can I go see your footage? I'm not threatening it all right now at all."
You had to ask the man of the house.
Yeah. Well,
remember that time I bought you that shot at the bar? That was 9 years ago, dude.
Remember that time that I hid the fact you slept with a hooker behind your wife's back? Yeah, I need that favor now, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Cashing in.
I forgot Justin Long was even in this. He's like, it's like such a small role.
I mean, he was in, I think he's probably a
producer,
constant collaborator with the director, because he was in Barbarian and now in this. So
God, he's in everything. I love Justin Long.
He's a good actor. I like him.
He's a funny little guy.
I like him. He wasn't really funny in this. So it's funny when he shows up and he's not in a funny role.
You know my favorite movie with him, and when he plays the gay guy in Zack and Mary.
Yeah, it was Zack and Mary.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's his best role.
No, let's call it what it really is before the studio interference.
Yes.
Zack and Mary make a porno.
That is what it was called.
And then they took the hook away from them. Like, everything about that would make the movie work. It's like, just call it Zack and Mary. Like, that's not generic.
It's almost like, why would you greenlight a movie if you knew that was the title of the movie and the premise? Like, let's not
poor
be
Kevin Smith. I feel like they're always yoking him around. Like, no matter what he's doing. Did you guys see when he did Dogma here? Because they filmed Dogma in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That he went to the protest.
Yeah, he was protesting with them. Yeah,
yeah.
No idea.
He's like in the footage.
Oh well, that's Kevin Smith to a T though. Like, I will give him credit where credit's due. And technically, you could make the argument, and I've said this before, that Kevin Smith is part of the reason why this podcast exists, because it was an article he wrote about how every filmmaker should have a podcast to get an audience. And I had read that article, and that's where I came up with the idea of doing the podcast. So it's Kevin Smith's fault. Almost 10 years going.
Well, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. 371 episodes later. Yeah, but he does always kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to that sort of thing. But, it's Kevin Smith. We still know him for all of his great movies he's made.
And his bad ones.
And his bad ones.
We don't speak of those.
Yeah. Did he make Yoga Hosers?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we don't speak of those.
Give his kid, a starring role.
Nice, it's okay. Dogma makes up for most.
Dogma makes up for a lot of it.
Wait, what the hell are we talking about?
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Witch shit.
Somebody get out a stopwatch, rewind it, and see how long on a tangent we just went on.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have
That's nothing to do with
can't be held accountable.
It's cool. Our audience knows that. They know what to expect. They also know I'm not going to edit this together into any sort of coherent mess. So that's okay. So anyway, yeah, math solves the movie. Which is
rarely the case in horror movies.
As someone who hates math, despite having to use it, I don't like the fact that math was the hero in this movie. I don't like it.
And I don't like that the witch was the villain.
There you go. There you go.
Math doesn't lie, though, Brian. Like, somebody could say Moby Dick's the greatest book of all time. Somebody could say it's the worst book of all time because it's opinion based. But math, you're the right or you're wrong.
I have one thing though. About the math in this movie that this movie does not take into account. Okay, what if the children turned while they were running?
Well, they also don't have any control. They could have got hit by cars. They could have ran.
Well, that's my point. Like let's be honest here. Marcus, who was the zombie principal, he was roaming through town trying to find Justine, right? So he clearly knows how to turn and try to navigate where she's at. You're telling me that the children didn't know to turn? Like, what if there was not a straight line? What if they ran into a wall? Would they just stop at the wall?
Like NPCs
like
in
kind of
video
like
games.
the Rapture. Like if we get raptured, like if we get raptured in the house, do we just hit the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that kind of
vibe. So like the whole point of him going like, well, look at the straight line. It's like, dude, you're not accounting for the fact that like, what if your kid runs into a house or a building on the way there? Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to turn? Like, you can't use the math of, well, all the children ran in a straight line, so they must have all done that.
And thankfully, they all live fairly close to our witch. Like my high school, middle school were combined, 2 different elementary schools, and I had friends that lived like about 20 minutes away from me because they were in McCain and I was in Edinburgh, if anybody knows that area. And if my one friend in class had to run like what amounts to 20 minutes of driving, he's probably not getting there that night.
Same thing here too. I mean, like my high school was in 2 towns over. So like for me, if someone in my high school was, collecting my hair, because I did have hair at the time when I was in high school, and turning me into a zombie, I mean, that would be a lot of running across 2 towns.
So, Brian, are you saying that there was a time where you didn't have to cut holes in your pockets to run your fingers through your hair?
That is true. That is true.
An oldie, but
I just do that now for fun.
You just do it now for fun. It's cool. It's like, why do you got holes in your pockets?
She's a good parasite. She's a smart parasite. She picked a suitable host. She didn't pick a town where she had to have the kids run far. She picked a town that was right center, where there was a bunch of kids, and then just sucked their souls.
She wasn't counting on math.
Yeah. Now, what do you guys make of the connection with her and nature and trees? And there's, everybody that runs afoul of her, they get a visualization of her, and Cracky, after he leaves the house, he's running through the woods and she's waving from him from in the woods, but it's not that she looks like she's sitting down, but she's actually a part of the earth, and she has the tree that she trims. And is she some kind of organic nature?
I see her as the exact opposite. Yeah. I see her as the exact opposite. But Jordan, you're our guest. You respond to John's query first.
I mean, it's not really specified in the movie. If I had to take a guess, I mean, obviously the tree has significance, right? It has some type of power, or is cursed, or some type of magic that she's utilizing to parasite this energy from other people, specifically these children, right? So if she had to tend to the tree, and the tree is linked to her in some way, which I'm assuming that it is, right? Maybe the tree allows her access to people's psyche. There's astral projection. There's all different things which that could be. A lot of people claim to be haunted by the witches that they think cast spells on them. So this is more maybe of a projection of like what we're used to seeing in media about witches. I mean, I'm sure people have nightmares about me.
No. No.
No, I mean, it could be any number of things, I mean, depending on what type, again, of practice this may be. I didn't recognize it as any practice that I'm specifically familiar with, but also the elements of it I am familiar with. So it just depends,
See, I think it is...
Jordan, I don't think they'd be nightmares that they're having.
They would not be nightmares. I see it...
you haven't talked to any of my exes then.
I see it as the opposite, John. I actually see it as a unnatural within a natural setting. And I say that because look at the way that Gladys looks compared to the surroundings that she's in. She is hyper saturated. It's like colors are around her within her costume, and the makeup and everything are so unnatural within a natural landscape that I think it's almost like a representation of her twisting the magic that nature gives you in an unnatural way.
Yeah, she seems to be corrupting
Yes.
the power that she's taking. But again, depending on the practice and the belief, you can't take things without giving things in return. Your intentions matter. So she's essentially a very corrupt creature regardless, so she's a corrupt entity. She's not a good entity. She's taking, like you were saying, like a parasite, and she's not giving anything back. See, witches are happy within our elements. We don't take things that we don't need. In fact, we give back. We help things grow. We make our communities better. Like that's depending on the type of witch that you are. But this is a corruption of what we do. This is the evil version of like what we do. Is that witches who would take and be evil and harm, and obviously the stereotype that we hurt children. Like, I don't want your kids.
I don't want your
sticky.
kids.
They're sticky. I don't want them.
They are sticky.
I give them candy. I dress up every year and give them candy, but just candy.
And that's
Just
out of
candy.
a back of a van in March, right?
Yeah, of course.
No,
or that Halloween thing. Yeah,
I have a little bowl that looks like a black cat, and I
That's
hold
awesome.
it for Halloween, and I give it to the kids for trunk or treat every year.
That's nice. See, I don't get kids that come by my house. They don't. That's one of the things that happens if you live in the city. It's like, oh, you might be on a street that people come by, or you might not, and they never do every year. And I'm like, that's all I want. Our children to come by and get candy.
The first Halloween I had a house, there was no sidewalk, and it led to library, which is a major road. So people used it as a third street, and there's no sidewalk. But I still sat out there just hoping I would get some kids coming by. But no, I had what amounted to being about $50 of ungiven candy that I had to eat and probably get diabetes from.
It's like, oh no, all of the Reese's and Snickers.
Oh no, not that.
No, not that. What are you eating for lunch for the next month? Reese's and Snickers. Yeah, but
look at the Twix and Kit Kats.
I mean, yeah, Twix.
Oh.
I mean, Twix. Let's be honest here. Kit Kat is a tier 2 candy. That's not a primary. Are you a Kit Kat fan?
I like to eat Kit Kats, but I don't like to break them apart. I like to take a bite of them.
Yeah,
who breaks them apart anymore?
Because I love the texture.
But who breaks apart Kit Kats when you're grown?
You're supposed to, but I just break them.
Yeah, no, I eat the whole thing.
I think they want you to do that, bro.
Yeah, screw that.
I eat them. Yeah. I just shove them in.
I don't eat them. I just shove them in.
The beaver, you know what I mean? Like I love their texture. I don't know. I think.
See, Jordan doesn't want your kid's souls. She just wants Kit Kats.
She just wants to shove beavers in her mouth.
I like crisped rice too.
Crisp rice and Kit Kats.
I like
That's
crunch bars. I like them crunchy.
She just wants crunchy souls. That's it. Well, speaking of the end of this movie, okay. We didn't really talk a whole bunch about Alex because Alex is kind of our point of view into Gladys and who she is. But Alex is this poor little boy who is getting stalked by Justine in the beginning of this movie. And then his parents get turned into zombies that stab their faces with a fork. Like, I gotta ask you, were you like going, oh shit, like when they started stabbing their own faces with a fork?
Well, see, I just assumed she was going to brine them after that. You know,
well, I mean,
I was just like, oh, that's sick voodoo.
Well, I was like, oh shit, because you didn't know what the hell this woman was going to do. Like, I thought, I'm like, oh, is she going to have like them attack Alex? Is that what we're going to do? And it's like, no. We're going to be much more evil. And I'm going to have you watch me make your own parents hurt themselves. Like, that's really fucked up.
Well, I hope that she used her witchy powers, which, by the way, I want to say for all of our Wiccan friends out there, we understand this is movie witches.
This is movie witches.
This is not anything to actually do with Wiccan.
Please don't curse
culture.
us.
Yeah.
Please don't curse us. We are witch positive here. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, that was kind of like for everything until like the Puritans came by and was like, do you believe in God? No. Bang. Do you believe in God? Yes. Do you believe in my God? No. Bang. Now you do, fucker. But where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. I hope that she did some kind of spell where it made him like stand up and walk around or something, because they're going to get bed sores. They just sit there every day.
Their legs are going to become edema and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, did Campbell's like soup pay for the advert here? Because he's like,
I hope not.
Because you got to feed the parents, but like, do they just shit and piss themselves? Though?
I swear, where are they going? They got to be going, right? Like
they
got to
get that soup
down
out.
their legs.
Yeah.
Alex was wiping their butts.
I have IBS. Okay, we all know I can't be eating soup standing up.
You can't be having soup.
It's just gonna be a puddle. But are you kidding?
You can't be a zombie with soup.
I wouldn't have made it. Sorry, that would have been spray.
Granted, I think Jordan, like, that would be the least of your worries.
Oh no, that cream of mushroom soup! Oh fuck!
Damn it, Alex! I told you not to feed them jambalaya. Oh god.
Oh my god. Yeah. What if they were all just going off in the basement? Just.
Oh yeah, all those kids, they got to be just shitting over. How can we just see feces all over the floor?
And who's feeding them?
That's the kid, I think he was feeding them too. I think there was a scene where the kid was feeding the kids too.
So, okay, let's just talk about how illogical it is that nobody is coming to check in this house. Nobody at the local supermarket, because if you go, I don't know how I'm mentioning Home Alone again. But in the first Home Alone, Kevin's there shopping, and the lady is like starting to interrogate him because it's weird. This kid's here by himself. Like nobody at the local supermarket goes, why does this kid come in by himself every other day and buy 17 cans of soup?
Yeah, why is this 8-year-old buying 30 gallons of soup?
Maybe we should look into this.
I mean, especially nowadays, like I could see like it being. I mean, I could see it being even somewhat acceptable back in the day because it's like, oh well, we didn't have to worry about bad, nasty things happening to kids back in the day, even though they did. But it just seemed more permissive. That okay, you're in a small town, you can go down the street, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, we used to walk to Koga's like.
That's what I mean.
It's like 6 blocks away.
Yeah,
the whole Adam Walsh thing, I think, changed. Like, I think people got very paranoid after Adam Walsh got affected.
But that leads me even to thinking, like, nowadays, someone would be like, "Why is this little kid constantly coming back here and constantly and all she does is buy fucking soup?" So yeah, there are some things within this town that don't make any sense, and I think the whole thing we have to go back to is the movie doesn't want us to think about that. You know what I mean? Like the whole idea of can people turn while they are under zombie control? Don't think about that. A little kid walking into a supermarket getting a bunch of soup? Don't think about that.
This is about a tree witch who kidnaps 17 kids. Like,
yes,
you're going to have to give some suspension of
disbelief.
I feel like they would have investigated the kid's house too, like the one kid that didn't get taken. Like I feel like the feds would have been all over that place.
100. Well, one, if a whole bunch of kids disappear from a, let's be honest here,
white
wealthy town, it would not disappear from the news this quick. I don't care if it's 30 days. No, this would be like Jean-Benet Ramsey level of coverage where you'd be hearing about it for at least 2 years and then conspiracy theories for another 10 to 15 years. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't just go off. No, there would be no feds being like, yeah, we're going to just walk away from this. No, not in this town.
I guess we got to just we got to say it was Gladys's magic, right? We did. Like you're just supposed to understand that she just
understand.
Well, she just fooled everybody.
There is a scene near the end of it where like she brings like, Wendy with meth addiction brings, aka Gladys, brings in like the dad and it's like, yeah, he's got the itis. Don't expect him to talk. He's got the itis.
He said he had a stroke.
He had a stroke.
Said he had a stroke. So it's that's it. He had a stroke.
Yeah.
He's here, but he can't talk. Sorry.
By the way, ignore how fucking weird I look.
Yeah, no one's saying anything about how fucking weird she looks.
Yeah, he has like 4 holes in his face.
It's from the stroke. The consumption.
He had really bad skin as a kid.
Are you all right there? Like, those seem to be fresh. Like, what's going on, bud?
They're weeping. Like, there's stuff coming out of them. Yeah. Well, all right. Let's jump to the end of this movie. The best part of, the movie itself is amazing, but the ending of this thing is like, holy fucking shit. So, Justine and Archer end up figuring out through math where all the kids are running to. And they, of course, it's creepy Adam's house. Or Alex's house. And they go in there only to be ambushed by a bunch of fucking zombies. Zombie Paul and zombie crackhead.
Yeah. Oh my god, that scene was funny as fuck. He's like, how many times did he hit him? Remember,
he hit him like 5 times, and he threw him like a rag doll like 3 additional times. And like, I'm going, is Thanos getting tired? Is this the thing that the Avengers just should have had, was just a fucking zombie drug addict? Yeah. That would have stopped the snap?
Wait, is that Thanos?
Yes.
That's Thanos. Okay, that's how I know him.
That's where I'm going. I'm like, okay, so Thanos can be defeated by a zombie crackhead.
Well, Jordan, you've seen the Goonies, right?
Yeah, but it's been so long.
Yeah, that was.
And he was younger then.
He was really young back then.
Yeah, like he's a lot different now, right? I'm like, oh, Thanos, right? Okay.
Yeah, but he's Thanos is able to be defeated by a crackhead. And in the struggle, he of course goes down to the basement, sees all of his kids, but he is blinded by his desire to be reunited with his son, that he ends up getting zombified by Gladys.
Oh yeah, Gladys gets him.
And because of course.
I love that his kid is the complete prick.
Oh, well, of course.
Of course.
I mean, I could have told you that one.
Yeah.
Because Archer's a complete prick in the beginning of the movie.
He's the one that wrote Witch on her car.
Yes. He's the one who wrote Witch on her car.
Hey, that's never proven.
It is.
I mean, it is, but it's never proven.
He just had the red, literally caught red-handed.
had the wrong red paint. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets zombified and attacks Justine. After Justine finally decides she's gonna, blow Paul's head off with a gun that she takes from him. And then she also kills the crackhead, right? Shoots crackhead. And then is now dealing with Archer, who's a zombie now. And while all this is going on, Alex is being chased by his own parents, who are they are reenacting The Shining, like literally reenacting.
There was
The Shining.
Here's Johnny scene.
Yeah, my father at one of the Christmas parties who got too drunk and just tried to kick my ass.
Is that what your father did when he was alive? He tried to kick into a bathroom and say like, "Hey, son, I want to eat your face."
No, he just needed really to use the toilet.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's maybe he shouldn't have eaten like the stuffing and mashed potatoes in one go.
No, it was that eggnog that he made, which was 99% rum with a splash of eggnog.
It's the eggnog that's flammable. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Justine is about to be killed when Alex apparently is now a master of witchcraft, basically steals one of Gladys's branches and does the spell on Gladys using her wig hairs. And I love this moment because like you don't really know what the fuck is going to happen, because at the time, like, does it require that there has to be natural hair, or can it be anything? Like, the movie does tell you that it has to be a belonging, so absolutely the wig hair would have counted. But the minute that Alex breaks the twig, it cuts immediately to Gladys, who goes, "Oh no!" Like, it's just, "Oh no!"
I've got a question for you guys based on this right now. Was this supposed to elicit as much laughter as?
Yes,
I think so. Yeah,
I bust out fucking laughing.
I think it was supposed to. Yeah, I think the entire movie was tense, and it's a mystery, right? And sort of more of a thriller. There are some like dark comedy laughs, but I genuinely think that was intentional by the direction. I think so.
Yes.
I think at the end, because you're so elevated at that point, you need that relief of the laughter. And it's really hard to do a horror scene like that where there isn't funny elements, especially with that sort of level of gore. So I think it was intentional. I don't think it was like, oh, haha. I think it was like, oh, finally, haha, yeah. Like it was like one of those because we left thinking, yeah, like that was awesome, you know. So I think it was
the scene, by the way, that John is describing, this way I haven't mentioned that scene, is Alex breaks a twig, and immediately the 17 children in the fucking basement turn into murderous zombies that are chasing after Gladys. And I think the best part is that this is all in broad fucking daylight through people's homes. This old crone woman is trying to run away so much. She looks so helpless when the entire movie has had her being such an elevated position of power that is fucking hilarious. And then, yes, it crescendos with the children ripping this woman apart.
I mean, the kids like jumping through windows and stuff was kind of funny, but really what I thought was the funniest part of is that they all run through these people's house. They're just there trying to figure out what the fuck happened when Archer just kind of walks. He's trying to figure out what's going on too, and he just walks through the house. And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, well, there's a man in the house.
Yes, there's a man in the house. It's like, that's the least of your concerns right now.
But it's just like, after what just happened, some other guy is just sauntering through your house.
You know what that chase reminded me of a little bit, and I don't know if you both thought this too. It reminded me of the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
A little bit,
my God.
Yeah, I was like, this is just like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, only with fucking zombies.
No, don't get up. Smells wonderful. Dinner's ready. Who does that?
Like Gladys is going through all these homes.
I think it was perfect. I think the ending of it was perfect, though, just because, again, if we're going back to the parasitic element, you know, parasites are not strong outside of their hosts.
No.
Parasites can't survive without the protection of their host. So without that, she is quite weak. She is frail. She is dying. So I think that was essentially the perfect end, is that we're looking at her as this really strong entity, because you find out you got a tapeworm. You're like, well, what the hell? You just take one little pill and that thing's gone, you know? So she is quite frail. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the important part to remember, is that, you know, evil people shouldn't have access to power. But,
it's also a thing where those people that you subjugate very easily can destroy you. You know, like it is.
We very rarely see.
It's inevitable. Children. It's inevitable. Like
we usually don't see. I mean, since what? The Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
We don't really see groups of children killing people regularly. So
yeah. It's. I love it just because, like, whenever you mix horror and, I call it just, you know, corruption of innocence, it always ends up doing well. It always ends up coming out well. But this is interesting because, like, it's that corruption done against the corruptor. You know, it's the tools that person used to corrupt those children.
Yeah, they're vindicated. It's getting that. Yeah, you need that reaction at the end of that. You don't want to see all the kids die.
No,
it's quite a heavy theme, right? When you don't know, and it's like the mystery, and it's like, oh, this is kind of like a thriller. Maybe it's a true crime. You don't know what you're dealing with until the end. And so when you do see the ending, and you're like, okay, this is absurd, and I think embracing that absurdity and laughing with it, I think, is not only the intention, but it also felt great experiencing it for the first time. You know, so I thought overall, I loved the movie. I thought it was great.
Well, let's talk about the ending, because
they had
to do not a reshoot, but put extra narration over the end of the movie, because initially the kids remained in a coma for the rest of their life. They never spoke again. They were catatonic, like the kids' parents were at the end, because they were in it too long and they're just not coming back. So that narration from the little girl, because some of them have even started talking again. They put that in because test audiences were like, fuck you. Like, you know, after all that, these kids are just like, she basically killed them without killing them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think the idea that, like, okay, well, we'll let you have a little bit of hope that these kids could eventually, like, come around again. Because, the test audiences did not care for that. So.
Well, I
think it would have been great if they all, like, when she died, if they all collapsed too. I think that would have been an even worse ending. Like, I would have been fine with that. But again, that's not like a big test audience. Like, I would have been like, oh, she did kill them all. Oh, they all died. Okay, cool. Like, that would have been fine with me to make it like a true horror.
Yeah.
But they did add that little. Well, not all the kids died.
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
some of them started talking.
I mean, it's implied, at least I kind of viewed it, that the person who was telling the story was one of those kids. Like the narrator at the beginning and the end, that was one of the kids who was talking. And that's why when there's like, oh, and some of them started talking again. Well, yeah, the person who was saying the story is the person who survived it. So, I mean, I think it was smart to not kill them just because, like, it puts it in it wraps up in a nice little bow. You know,
it's better off, for audiences.
You start off with this beginning of these kids disappeared. That's horrible enough. To make them die, I'd be like, it's a little overkill.
It's possibly a fate even worse. They're just like, it's like when somebody is in a coma for 25 years. Like they're technically alive, but technically is the key word. You know,
they're alive, but
they're
not
breathing,
living.
They're shitting, but
there's
nothing going on up there. Yeah.
All right, I want to get to some reviews. Now, we're recording this in a different way, so I don't have my secret, like, you know, show the reviews in one go here, but I am going to share this for our video audience. These are from Letterboxd. I'm just going to show the top couple ones here, and John and Jordan have not seen these, or they might have. I don't think they have. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at these here. So let me bring it up on screen. All right. And you probably cannot see that, but that's okay. So we're going to start top down here. So the first one is, she is bald, and she's torturing people who have hair.
Yep.
I mean,
yes, technically, yes.
Yes, thank you, Captain Obvious.
She breathes and walks.
Yes, she breathes and walks and breathes. And I think she might actually drink water, possibly from a bowl and or cup. But why does that one have 67,000 likes on Letterboxd?
I think because it is just so fucking random. You know?
You mean she's bald and she's torturing people with hair? That's from I forget what show that's from.
Is that from a show? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a viral thing on TikTok.
That's why.
Oh, this is a reference to something.
John and I aren't cool enough. Okay, Jordan, we're not cool enough to know.
Sorry,
the reference.
guys.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
You think so fucking cool and hip,
right.
Miss TikTok lady.
I was like, oh, they don't know.
No,
they don't know what it's from. Okay.
I'm on Tout and Vine.
He's on Tout and Vine. All right, next one, which this one actually is pretty funny. How do you think the teachers at Abbott Elementary would have handled this?
Does anybody watch that show?
Yes.
I only know of it. Okay.
No, you guys don't.
No.
Oh, it's funny. You got to check it out. The best part would be the documentary of that whole thing. Like the teachers be like, I don't know what the hell happened. The kids were just here and then they just disappeared. So like I think it would be funny. You definitely.
Oh, is it like that Office Modern Family thing where the testimonials?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This one I think is a little mean. Evil Chaperone really jump scared me. Jesus Christ.
Oh, she's a redhead.
Oh, that's mean. Rude.
I mean, she doesn't normally look like that. It's a movie. It's like saying, like, God, Gary Oldman was so ugly in Hannibal. It's like,
yeah, or Gary Oldman really let himself go in Dracula.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys see the new Dracula? Oh.
I have not yet. The
Gotta
one
that
that Luc Besson made?
Yeah.
That's kind of a little bit of a ripoff of Bram Stoker's Dracula. But
I mean, it's based on Coppola? Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No, but I mean, like,
not the Coppola version.
But I'm just saying that it kind of feels like the Coppola version.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, we'll talk about it. All right, I'm gonna do two more of these. This one here, I'm just glad we're seeing kids go outside again instead of being glued to their iPad screens. I mean, I guess
they're getting their steps in.
They're getting the steps in. They're still turned to zombies no matter what, right? Like, I don't know. My kids, they look at their screens, they turn to zombies sometimes.
Have you guys ever watched Bob's Burgers?
No.
The oldest daughter, Tina, runs like that on the show with her arms out. And
really?
As soon as I saw this movie, I'm like, oh, wait, these are all just Tinas from Bob Burgers.
Tina Belcher?
Yeah. Tina Belcher. I don't know. Here's my only thoughts. Like, if they really wanted to be, accurate to kids nowadays, they should have had all of the zombie children just saying 6, 7 over and over again. Have either of you heard that?
I only know of it because you told me your kids are doing it.
No.
Jordan,
I'm out of the loop. I don't got
count
kids.
yourself lucky. This is a common thing, and I can't stand it. But apparently there is a meme in which, and this is something that Gen Alpha does, they just say 6, 7 over and over and over and over again like a nervous fucking tick. And I don't know what the fuck it means. I don't really care. It's one of those things where I'm just like, you sound like there's a problem in your brain causing you to say 6, 7. And it's just, it's random. It's just random. Like you just be walking down the street, 6, 7. I'm like, this is like the movie Finding Nemo with the mine. Like it's like that, but only it's the kids. So like that's, if they really want to make them zombies, they should just have them screaming 6, 7. I can't help
you, friend. I don't even know. That's out of my.
You don't want to know.
I know like Gen Z through Gen X.
Yeah,
I don't really speak Boomer or Alpha.
Yeah, you don't want to know. You
Brian, that was actually the first time I've ever heard Gen Alpha said. I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's a thing now. Yes, yeah. Gen Alpha is a thing. All right, and the last one here. Hilarious how anyone ever thought the teacher was involved in the class disappearance, as if an entire room of children has ever once listened to what we tell them to do. Yes.
Well, that's what I didn't get, why the town was attacking her. I'm like, wait a minute. So now you guys are saying she's incompetent, but she also like collectively successfully managed to like pull off this kid heist, and she wasn't smart enough to do it with another class? She did it with her class? Like,
yeah, that's awfully suspicious.
Like, yeah, like of course she didn't.
I can't get the kids to just do their spelling test or do their homework. But yes, I convinced them all to at a coordinated time. At 2:17 in the morning. That is the one I made sure we had a plan that they all would run out of their houses at the exact same time. Yes, a teacher did that. No, bullshit.
Good thing there was nobody in those households that was a night owl, too, by the way. They might be like, hey, where the hell are you going? Chase the kid down and be like, back in the house.
Yeah.
None of the kids had like an errant, like college-age brother that was just hanging out, like, and saw the kid leave. Like, hey, where you going, little dude? Like, I feel like everybody has like at least one stoner teen, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah. No, watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah,
that's
like
a great show, by the way. Great show.
I miss that. I swear, I miss Cartoon Network.
Yeah. No. Nostalgia. It's kicking me right now. But that's Weapons. Really great horror movie. Honestly, I gotta say, if you get a chance to rent this one, or I think it's still in theaters right now. In a couple.
When I Googled it for this episode, there's like it's down to like the one screening kind of thing. But but I saw my phone brings up where it's showing nearest, and there's still a couple theaters showing.
Yeah, no, it's a really solid horror movie, and it's one of those ones that like every year I've noticed recently, like every year we're getting really, really solid horror movies coming out of the studios, which you really don't see. Like I saw the trailer for, and Jordan, I know you probably saw it, for The Bride.
With Bale as monster.
and you've also got Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein coming out soon, which
I like how they paired them together. Actually, I think they did the same thing with Elvis and Priscilla. They kind of made the two like sort of like biopics, but from the different perspectives. So we have del Toro's Frankenstein coming out next month, or in November, I think.
Yes,
and then we have Bale and the Frankenstein and the Bride movie coming out. I think Gyllenhaal's directing that.
Yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal's directing that one.
Yeah, so that's coming out, I think, in March. So it's like a 6-month differential between the two, which is, it's kind of cool to put them all together like that, like the two perspectives. And of course, we're going to compare them.
Of course. But I'm just noted
the other one. What was the other?
Deep Impact.
Deep Impact. Not that Deep Impact was that great, but it was a lot better than Armageddon.
No, I loved Armageddon. I don't care. I love the cheese factor of Armageddon. But anyway, I've noticed that we've been getting some really solid horror movies coming out of the studio system in the past couple of years. I mean, Sinners this year, Nosferatu late last year, some really solid ones coming out that, you can put Weapons into that camp as well.
Next year we have a great lineup coming out
Yeah.
as well. There's all kinds of movies coming out next year.
Nice. I haven't seen what the
Oh
docket
yeah,
looks
lots
like.
of sequels. I think there's a new Scream. There's
Scream 39.
yeah.
Scream 39.
But what I am excited for is the Return to Silent Hill.
Oh, okay.
The monster fuckers bullied that studio so hard to bring back Pyramid Head, and we've done it.
Jordan, how are things going in TikTok land for you? And any new things coming out on your end?
Well.
Oh well.
TikTok land has been so fun.
Yeah.
Same old. I get the death threats and stuff like that. Although I did wear my Elvira shirt today.
I was going to say.
Elvira
Awesome.
tweeted one of my videos. Retweeted
No way.
one of my Elvira reposted one of my videos.
I am very jealous.
I know. It was one of the best days of my life. But anyway, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, slip into her DMs and tell her to come on the Cinema Psycho show.
Yeah, tell her to come on. We'll talk about her movies, all of them. I'm talking even about Elvira's Haunted Hills. I have that one on my DVD collection back there.
It's almost time to watch Elvira again.
It's the time of the year. John, where can people find you at on the internet?
Let's see, Facebook, Instagram. I'll be dropping in a couple of days here my So Many Questions on Ghostbusters for my YouTube channel. And I just did an interview. I wrapped it up actually very briefly before we came on to this podcast with a gentleman that reached out to the podcast here, where he is a psychologist who kind of gave actual scientific diagnoses to your favorite horror movie characters, whether it's a type of character or specific people. So we had a really cool conversation. I'll be looking to cut that together pretty quickly after Ghostbusters as well to keep spooky season rolling along.
Nice.
Awesome. Jordan, where can people find you at?
You can find me at TikTok and Instagram at Jordan the Grey Witch. I'm also on Blue Sky.
Yeah. I think Blue Sky is going to be where we all go when, things change.
Any day now.
When the things change.
I do miss live tweeting things. Like, I wish that
I miss
ass
Twitter.
fuck didn't take over Twitter and turn it
I
into
know.
a hate boy white pride place.
I deleted it as soon as he bought it. I had it for like 12 years. I deleted it as soon as he bought it.
Well, of course, if you have loved this podcast, do me a favor and share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your favorite witch friend. Share it with them. They will enjoy it. Of course, if you really want to follow us, you can go to cinemapsychoshow.com/follow, and you can follow us on your favorite podcast app of choice. We got buttons. You just press them, and boom, you are following our show, and you'll never miss an episode. On top of that, if you are watching us here on YouTube, hey, thank you for doing that. Do me a favor. Hit the little subscribe button, hit the like, hit the little bell, and let us know what you think about the movie Weapons in the comments, because all those things, they help grow this podcast. It gets it out there in the algorithm, because that's really the only way that YouTube surfaces your stuff. And with that said, we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.